Hi there, today is Tuesday, February 7th, 2022. I just went to work after a one-day holiday yesterday, and there was a huge debate at my office regarding the router settings and what the connection problem was with the customers' several cases. Today, we discussed about DDNS and port forwarding, but in the past few days, I extensively covered the port forwarding. So today, I'm gonna cover DDNS, that's a dynamic domain name service, and why it is important and goes well with port forwarding. DDNS is quite a important concept, especially with remote access, like a remote desktop, security camera access, or file server access from outside your network, especially your home network. So first, let's read this interesting article about TP-Link setup. I believe many Americans use TP-Link routers, while Koreans use IP Time or KT routers. I work for Korea Telecom KT, so I would say KT routers are the best in Korea, and they are very sturdy. They are aesthetic in design and very cheap. If you because you can rent it out to yourself with 11,000 won each month. That's quite cheap. There's no initial purchase price, so it's less burden on your financial burden. By the way, I'm drinking soju at the moment, so I believe I can read this material very well because of soju. Alcohol makes you become more loosened, more smooth, and more honest. So I'm going to read this article with honesty. By the way, I'm trying to read this article so that I could also practice English. Yes, I have never lived in America except as a tourist for maybe 3 weeks so far altogether. But if you are I am in the market. So if you are looking for good, well-versed American, telecom salesman, here I am. So I am also available. I think I need to get, $150,000 yearly, and then I would listen to you. I was kidding. So here we go. This one is from tplink.com. What is matter? I don't know. TP-Link. How to set up TP-Link DDNS on TP-Link wireless router. New logo. Configuration guide. Updated 11. That's November 22nd, 2022. 5:37 a.m. So far, almost 500,000 people read this article. This article applies to, check. Note 1. This FAQ is suitable for TP-Link wireless routers with cloud functions such as Archer CB v3, Archer C9 v3/v4, and so on. 2. Currently, most of the applicable models only support the online upgrade feature, and other cloud functions will be added in the future firmware. 3. As for Archer C5400 V1, only the EU version supports the cloud services. Please check the hardware version on the label on the back of the router. Most ISPs, internet service providers, assign a dynamic IP address to the router, and you can use this IP address to access your router remotely. However, the IP address can change at any time and you don't know when it changes. In this case, you might need the DDNS, Dynamic Domain Name Server, feature on the router to allow you and your friends to access your router and local servers, FTP, HTTP, etc. Using a domain name in no need of checking and remembering the dynamic IP addresses. Using a domain name in no need of checking and remembering the dynamic IP addresses. TP-Link is one of the DDNS service providers on TP-Link wireless routers with cloud functions. TP-Link is one of the DDNS service providers on TP-Link wireless routers with cloud functions. Here, follow the steps below to set up your TP-Link DDNS. Step 1. Register and bind your TP-Link cloud account to the TP-Link wireless router. For how to, please click here. Step 2. Go to Advanced Network Dynamic DNS. Select TP-Link as the DDNS service provider. Click Register. Enter a host name to create your own domain name. For example, test.tplinkdns.com. Then just click Save, and the domain name will be bound to your router automatically. Very sweet. Let me zoom in, see if we can read this. Capture the snapshot of the TP-Link setting screen. Advanced Dynamic DDNS Service Provider TP-Link. Current domain name list. Domain name test, registered date, status, bound, operation, unbind, modify. Okay, notes. That's plural, notes. 1. Make sure you have internet when you are registering a TP-Link domain name. 2. If you fail to register a TP-Link domain name, it means your domain name has been registered by others. Please try to change another host name. 3. Your domain name will be bound to the external public IP address of your network. So don't worry if the ISP assigns a private WAN IP address such as 192.168.1x to the router. 4. If you want to change the domain name, just click Unbind and delete your current domain name, then tap Register to bind a new one. Get to know more details of each function and configuration. Please go to Download Center to download the manual of your product. Is this FAQ useful? Your feedback helps improve this site. Yes. Recommend products, hot buys. Subscribe. So it was a rather very succinct DDNS setting. Once you activate DDNS and designate TP-Link as a DDNS service provider, everything is taken care of. So important thing is DDNS setup is done on the TP-Link wireless router, not at the final terminal or device that is attached to TP-Link. I thought it was done by the device, but it's done on the TP-Link wireless router or on any other wireless router that you are using. So that was good, and we also learned that nodes are plural because there are more than one node under the nodes. What else? We learned that step 1, step 2, not one step, 2 steps, but step 1, step 2, and the wireless routers. Follow step FTP, HTTP, etc. Well, that was a rather short article. If you have any question, you'll need to talk to tplink.com/us. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.